Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Amateurs. I'm Bryce Barnes.
And I'm Jaron Randall.
And on this podcast, we look to give some insight on how to become a successful college athlete and also potential career paths within the sports industry that you should pursue.
But don't just take our word for it. After all,
we're just a couple of amateurs.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Amateurs. Today, we had the opportunity of talking to Tom Wilder, someone who is not only a great athlete, but a great person as well. We hit on a wide range of topics, including perseverance and the importance of making the most out of every opportunity. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, we're here with Thomas Wilder, a former teammate of mine, a close friend as well, second all-time leading scorer at Western Michigan University, a professional basketball player for the Windy City Bulls. Thank you, Tom, for joining us. I mean, you're a professional basketball player now, but I know you had some bumps and, bruises along the way as well.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you athletes out there that aren't being heavily recruited, you might want to grab a pen and a pad and, take some notes.
Definitely.
So let's start from the beginning. Who put the ball in your hands, and where did your love for the game originate?
First, I want to say, thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to be on y'all podcast. Like y'all doing your thing. So first, I just want to say thank you for having me on here. But yeah, my love for the game. I don't know. It kind of was. My dad was always a coach. He didn't hoop at a high level, but he played in high school. So then he started coaching, and then he just kind of put me in basketball. My mom was a real big fan of Michael Jordan. So like growing up, we was always watching Michael Jordan old games and stuff like that. So it was just kind of like it was really no other option. Like basketball was kind of just in the family type thing. And then, but I play other sports as well, but it was just like basketball kind of was like the one, So that's probably where it came from, just playing it when I was younger. And then I played AAU, my first AAU team. I was playing at like this rec center in the little city or whatever. And then one of my good friends played AAU on this team called the Illinois Wildcats. And then so I went tried out or whatever, and then I made the team. So from third grade on to like seventh grade, I played with this team, and that's how I know Jabari, because Jabari was on our team for like when we was in like sixth grade or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of like where I got the love for the game from. Really, it's just like playing at a high level so young. It was like, dang, like just friends. You build friendships and stuff like that along the way. So it's like, yeah, I want to hoop with my friends type thing.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So like when did it start getting serious for you?
Bro, honestly, so going into high school, I knew I didn't want to play football no more. I was pretty good at football, so it was either like basketball or football. And then so going into high school, I didn't want to play. I had like my mind made up like I want to play basketball, but my stepdad was like, man, just play football for me, because he was a real big football guy. So I was like, all right, I'll play for you. I'll play this 1 year, but then after this, I'm done. So then I played, and then I ended up doing really well. So then I was like, all right, forget it. I'm going to play again my sophomore year. And then I did really well again, but then I was just like, yeah, I'm not playing no more. Like, I want to focus on basketball. So I say probably like after my sophomore year of high school is when I was like, yeah, this is like, I'm going to try to really hoop for real.
Hey, that's kind of dope though. You was nice in football and basketball.
Yeah. I was nice at football, but it was just on some like natural. You know what I'm saying? Like I never worked out because, like I said, I never was really like fully committed to football. But like, yeah, I was pretty good at football too.
That's dope, man. Just speaking about like basketball, what was your experience like in high school basketball wise?
It wasn't sweet like how a lot of guys, high school career was. So like my freshman year, I was kind of short. I was like 5'6", maybe coming into high school, 5'8", 5'6", one of the two. So I was like on the shorter end. I played sophomores, and then my sophomore year, I started playing sophomores. I didn't even get moved up to varsity till like halfway through the season. But we had a pretty good team, so I still really wasn't playing like that. And then my junior year, I was so the summer going into my junior year, I started gaining traction. I started getting a little taller, started coming into my game a little bit. Then I got hurt like the last game of the summer. So like going into the season, I was just rehabbing, trying to get ready for the season. but I never really fully recovered. I tried to come back too soon, so I was like constantly getting hurt my junior year. So like that was basically like a wash. And then my senior year, I was like, all right, I knew this dude named Kenny Battle. He went to my high school that I was going to. He had went to prep school for a post-grad year. So that's how I found out about the school. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to go check it out. I went, worked out with him. And then I was like, yeah, my mom and my stepdad was like, yeah, we think you should do it, this, that, whatever. So I was like, man, I'm going to have to make this sacrifice. But it was a big sacrifice, though, like, because I didn't get to, you know, just do the regular walk. I didn't get to walk the stage in graduation. I didn't get to go to prom my senior year. I didn't get to go to homecoming, do like all that fun stuff. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, it was a sacrifice, but it was like, I would say it was one of the, if I ain't do it, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, you know, in my career.
Right. Crazy. I hear a lot of stories about prep school. What was that like? I know it's probably your first time being away from family for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially at such a young age. We all go through it once we get to college, but even though it's like 1 year earlier, that's still a huge transition. What was that like for you?
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough, bro, because like you said, it's like you're prepared. It's like, you know, like, all right, after I graduate high school, I'm going to college. But this, it was like I wasn't ready for it. Like, I was actually going to my high school like for the first 2 weeks. So I'm thinking I'm going to high school. I'm thinking, you know, like my mindset is like, I'm here. And then like 2 weeks later, after the first 2 weeks, I'm gone, you know? So it's like, it was a whole different type of shift of the mindset you had to have. And then it was just like being 5 hours away from home. So you really could see your people. Like, we wasn't there for Thanksgiving. We was missing out on Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So it was tough, but yeah, bro, like I said, without it, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, just for the simple fact that, like, it was just school and basketball. Like, that's all there was. There was no girls at our school. There was none of that, you know, no distractions really. So it's like you really had to go there and be locked in, or else you was just going to you wasn't going to be able to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have been able to make it, so.
Man, bro. So, how did you get recruited by Western Michigan? How did they contact you? When did they start contacting you? What was that whole process like?
Yeah, so we played this school called La Lumiere, and they was like they're a really good prep school, but they don't have a post grad. I don't think. I think they're just like a really good, you know, high school or whatever. So we ended up playing there in a tournament, and then we played La Lumiere. And it's a point guard from Chicago. His name was Jalen James. I forgot where he went to high school, maybe Hope or something like that. But and then he went to La Lumiere, and then so they was there looking at him. And I didn't even play that well this game. Like, I might have had like 6 points or something like that, but I was constantly getting in the lane, like finding my teammates, that type of thing. And then one of the coaches there, Coach Holland, he seen me. And then he was just like, yeah, you know, we interested in you, this, that, whatever. We're going to stay in touch. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is my first experience with any type of D1 coach, anything at this point. Up until now, I'm getting recruited by like D3s, NAIAs, you know, stuff like that. So I was like pretty geek, you know what I'm saying? I was pretty geek. So we kept in touch or whatever. And then throughout the year, at the end of the year, they offered me. So after my official senior year, they offered me and they wanted me to come there. After my senior year, but I was like, nah, you know, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do a postgrad year, because I'm thinking, like, if I got Western, like, I might end up going to Kentucky or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna wait it out. And he knew that too. It was funny, like, he knew that. But I committed to them. So I committed to them after my senior year, but, you know, like, I didn't sign my national letter of intent or nothing. Right. But yeah, once I decided to make my mind up on committing, I was just like, yeah, this is like, I'm gonna just go here. Like, they was like the first team to believe in me, give me a shot. So it was like throughout the year I committed, and then like we would have like open gyms and stuff, and colleges would come. And they would be like, well, like, what's up with this kid? Like, da talking about me, and they would be like, yeah, he's already committed, and I didn't even like entertain no other conversations. I was just like, I'm gonna go here, you know. Like, they took a shot on me. So
before we move into your freshman year of college, do you have what advice would you give another high school hooper or athlete that's probably in their senior year and not really getting recruited heavy? What advice do you have for them?
I would just say keep your head down and continue to work. Like, especially nowadays, it's a lot of distractions, like with the social media and stuff like that. Like, you can kind of get caught up in comparing yourself or comparing your situation to other people's, and it's like, we not in no competition with nobody. You know, we running our own race at the end of the day. So it's like, I would just say keep your head down and continue to work, because if you do that, it's going to pay off. Like, you know, you might not know the time, like, you know what I'm saying? You might not know when it's going to show or when the work going to show, but like the work will show. So I'll just say stay locked in.
I love that.
All right, Tom. So let's transition into, you know, your freshman year at Western. Talk about making the most out of every opportunity, man. I mean, you were definitely the best guard there. I mean, hands down. And then, you know, you had a point guard ahead of you. So how did you, you know, overcome that situation?
Well, it was like so coming in, I'm thinking I'm gonna play. You know, that's what they said. You know, that's how they get you there, telling you they're trying to sell you the world. So I'm thinking I'm gonna come in and play, and I knew I was like good enough. I knew I was good enough to play. So, but I understood like they just won a championship, this, that, whatever. And so kind of when they said he was gonna start, or the dude was gonna start in front of me, I really didn't take it no type of way, because I understood like kind of like the politics of it, or like, you know what I'm saying? And he was a good player. It's not like he couldn't hoop or nothing. So I was just like, you know, it is what it is. And then and I still had to learn at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If I would have went in and I started right away, I probably, who knows, like I can't say that it would have turned out how it turned out. So I was just kind of okay with the decision the coaches had made. And I was just like, man, let me go out here and try to do my best. But it was times where I definitely got frustrated, because it was like games where I feel like I'm hooping or whatever, and then like I'll come out and I wouldn't play, or I wouldn't play as much as I thought I was. So it was like it was tough, but like I think prep school kind of like prepared me for anything else outside of that, because that situation was so like unique and so tough, and so, you know what I'm saying, I had to overcome a lot of adversity. Just like through that, it was just like, this ain't really nothing. So I kind of just stuck it out. I just stuck it out, just kind of when he called my number, just tried to make the best of it. But it was definitely times where it was like frustrating, because like I said, I'm thinking I'm coming in there and I'm gonna start and this, that, whatever, and like it's games like I had a 34-point game, and it was just like, yeah, and it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I could do this on a regular basis if you like give me the chance. But it was like I feel like I didn't have that chance, but you know, it is what it is.
Bro, we can't just skip over that though. 34 as a freshman, that's different.
Yeah. No, it was cool. We ended up losing, but yeah, I had a really good game.
What was the learning curve like for you? I know for myself, it was a lot of like rotational, you know, things on defense that you just don't learn in high school. What was that like for you?
For sure. That was probably the biggest part, is learning the defensive scheme, because like everybody run a different defensive scheme. Some people might push, want the team to go middle, or, you know what I'm saying, or keep them out the middle. So it's like different things you got to learn. And I would say that's the biggest thing, is like defensively, because when you at this level, for the most part, like a lot of people are good offensively. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a lot of people don't really get the defensive schemes or the defensive tendencies that they need to know in order to get on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of talented guys. They just don't understand the game. So I would say that's the biggest part, is understanding and learning the game. You can't just go out there and hoop most of the time. Like, your coach not gonna go for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if I can add on to that, my bad, Jared. If I can add on to that, like you said, a lot of people can come out and score. Like, you on a D1 level, you got talent.
Yeah.
But I think that in my experience, what has separated a lot of players that got a lot of playing time was their ability to pick up on things fast and really pay attention to practice. Like you said, to the defensive schemes or to the offensive plays and things like that.
For sure. Like, that's the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I remember in practice, you know, you guarding me full court, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah. That was one of the things that stuck out to me, honestly. You know, coming from Chicago, you know, it's a lot of scores, a lot of you know, guys that focus on the offensive end. But then when I came to Western, I saw you was picking up, you know, 94 feet.
Bro. That's the thing. Like, people don't be knowing. Like, I love playing defense. Like, a lot of guys don't, you know what I'm saying, want to get it in on that. But I love playing defense. Like, it's no better feeling than, like, if you locking somebody up, like, they can't score on you, but then you giving them a bucket, like, bro, like, you feel me? It's nothing they could do or say, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I was younger, when I played with the Wildcats, See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never knew, like, I could even be at this position in life or in my career. Because it was just like, even then, it was like, my coach would only put me in for defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was only a defensive guy for that system. And it wasn't until, like, the 7th grade, I think I left the team. And then I started playing on, like, different teams. And I'm like, dang, I could hoop. Like, I could handle the ball. Like, you know, that's kind of when I realized, like, I could actually, you know, dribble and be crafty and stuff like that. But before that, I was a defender. So it was like, that never left, really. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I enjoy defense. Like, I enjoy defense.
One thing that we've been harping on, I guess, in our first podcast is like the situation that you're in. You just talked about your role on one team was basically to just be a defender. But you had more to your game than that. You ain't even know it until you put yourself in a position where you were able to do that. So, like, for the listeners, just make sure that you're choosing your team strategically.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, I don't mean to cut you off, but like a lot of guys, like I said, the social media era, all this stuff, the guys want to go to the biggest school, and that's not always the best thing to do, because it's like, if you kill where you at, like, somebody gonna see you, and then it's about like taking advantage of that opportunity. It's about just taking advantage of every opportunity, like. And if you do that, you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know to what extent, I don't know to what level, but at the end of the day, like, you're gonna win in life. Like, if you take advantage of every opportunity, you know what I'm saying? So
that's some great advice.
Yeah.
And so you have, you know, a successful freshman year, 34-point season high, you know, game, all freshman team. The coaches are ready to give you the green light, and you end up having surgery for 6 months and have to sit out. Can you take us to that moment and, you know, actually talk about how you felt, and, you know, were you nervous that you wouldn't get back to being, you know, capable of what you were doing?
Yeah, no, and it was when I found out I had to have surgery. So I'm gonna take y'all back. So, like, the last game of the season, the coach was like, we got in at halftime, we was losing, and we in the conference tournament. So we was playing in, like, the Cleveland, what's that place called? Quicken Loans. We was playing at Quicken Loans, yeah. And so the coach was like, at halftime, he's like, yeah, Tommy's like, we just gonna put the ball in your hands and, like, let you rock, you know, my freshman year. So I'm like, bet. You know, and I did okay. Like, I might have had like 7 points. Like, we started making a little comeback, but we still ended up losing. But that kind of, like, showed me, like, all right, like, they trust me. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm getting excited about next year. And so I tore my labrum the beginning of my freshman year, and I was just playing through it. And they was like, yeah, it's going to get better if you just keep rehabbing it and trying to strengthen it. Like, you don't need surgery. So, like, that's what I'll have my mind fixate. Like, I'm like, all right, I don't have to have surgery. I don't have nothing to worry about. And after the season, I get it, like, reevaluated, and they like, yeah, you got to have surgery. And, like, I just start crying because I'm like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get back to where I was at. Get back to where I was at. So, so it kind of just was messing with me a little bit. And then after that, I had the surgery, rehabbed or whatever. And I remember going to, like, Coach Holland's office, the one that offered me. I remember telling him, like, man, I just feel like I'm not getting better. Like, I feel like everybody else kind of passing me up. And he like, I mean, like, they are kind of like, you're not doing nothing, they are. Like, so, like, Jerry laughing, he knows.
Hey, no,
like, he
you gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah, he kept it 100. He like, I mean, they are. Like, he's like, they are passing you up. So I'm like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? So after that, as soon as I got the clear, as soon as it was like, yeah, you can start shooting shots, I was making like 1,000 shots a day. Like, so I don't know how many I was shooting. And, like, I really wasn't a shooter up until this point. Like, I was, like, more of a slasher and get to the bucket, create for my teammates, but I could hit a jump shot, you know what I'm saying? But after that, I'm like, you know, they was like, I couldn't do nothing else. All I could do was shoot. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I would just start making like 1,000 shots, like, every day, like, except for like Sunday. If I went out to a party or whatever, like, I'm getting my shots in before that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was really locked in. And then, yeah, after that, like, that's when I really could tell, like, my game changed. Like, that's when I really found out, like, dang, like, I could hoop for real. Like, then that's when my mindset went from, all right, like, maybe go overseas or whatever, like, just kind of, like, take whatever I could get from it, to, like, no, like, let's try to get to the league, you feel me? Like, so after my sophomore year and during my sophomore year, I was like, yeah, like, this is it. I could hoop for real. I could hoop with whoever, really.
And that just show you, like, a lot of people say that they want it and say that they working hard, but 1,000 makes a day is not That's not just half doing that. That's
Nah. That's what I'm saying. I was locked in, bro, because I'm thinking in my head, like, I gotta catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just feel like everybody's passing me up. So in my head, I'm like, I gotta catch up. It was only like 2 months before the season started or something. I got cleared like 2 months before the season started. So basically for 2 months, I was just making 1,000 shots, like, and it paid off.
You want to go into? Did we talk about sophomore year? Or was that?
I mean, we didn't talk about. I could talk a little bit about it. So like I said, I had that I was shooting or whatever a lot. So then now I could tell my game changed, and it's like going into the year or whatever. I missed so much time. Like I'm still trying to get my rhythm like throughout the year type thing. So like the beginning games of the beginning stages of the season, I'm still trying to get my like rhythm. So I played like okay, had some okay games in the beginning, but then it started like I started having like 20-point games and, you know, then 30-point games like consecutively. So I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I'm hooping right now. And then yeah, after that, my confidence just started to grow. And like I said, I'm just like, all right, like I could hoop with whoever. So then we went to go like play Vanderbilt, and they had like a lottery pick at the time, and I played well. Like I had like 21 and 4 or 5, something like that. Like, and he had a triple double, like with 10, 10, and 10 or something. But it was still like he a lottery pick. So you feel me? I'm thinking like, all right, I'm decent. Yeah, so and then my coaches now starting to tell me like, yeah, the Knicks here at this game, the Knicks or such and such here at this game. Like, way to play. You had a good showing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm seeing that NBA scouts are interested in me and stuff like that. So yeah, it just all kind of boosted my confidence and just kind of propelled me. I would say that the sophomore year was a big year for me.
Yeah. And then sophomore year, you were all conference too, right?
Yeah, I was second team all conference. We didn't have a good record, but I was second team all conference, and I led the league in scoring, like from start to finish. So from the first game to the last one. Yeah.
That's crazy. But moving into junior year, that was a season that we played, y'all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did play Milwaukee. Yeah.
So
no, that was actually senior.
We played y'all senior year, but so we didn't play them junior year.
Nah, we didn't play them junior year.
Yeah, we played y'all senior year.
Yeah. Because I was just gonna say when we were preparing for y'all, it was basically like I think that my coach literally said like no disrespect to the rest of the players, but like if y'all able to contain Tom Wilder, we can win this game. Like that was basically our whole game plan, and he was just
that's what I keep hearing from like everybody I be talking to. Like my senior year, they just always say like, yeah, bro, the scouting report was like stop you, like do whatever, and that's what it kind of felt like. Cause like when I would be coming off ball screens, it was like usually, you know what I'm saying, you'll come off the big or hard hedge or something and then leave. It wasn't no leaving my senior year. Like it wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah. And he was literally hyping us up the whole week. Like it's gonna be NBA agents here, scouts here.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's funny because I ended up playing with one of my teammates this year. We played him. He went to Idaho. And they smacked us. Man. They smacked us. But he was on that team, and he was telling me the same thing, basically, like, bro, our coach was like gassing me up, like, man, he gonna kill you in front of all these coaches and that. So he said he came out on 10, like he came out ready to clamp up. And that was like one of my worst games, I think, like ever or something in school.
Bro, I think the game was over before.
Yeah, bro, they smacked us. They smacked us.
Yeah, it was
more
bad.
than 20. They beat us by more than 20, I think.
Yeah, it was bad.
At the crib, though. That's crazy.
Oh, at home?
Yeah, at home, bro. That next practice.
That practice was bad.
That was crazy.
All right, so let's transition into your junior year. Now you know you got the NBA looks and everything going. We know you had Adidas Nation. Can you talk about that? How did the Adidas Nation showing go?
Well, I did Adidas Nations going into my senior year. So my junior year, I would have entered my name in the draft because I think that was the start of the like when you could put your name in early and then come back to school. I think that was like the first year. So I was thinking about doing that, but then I got turf toe towards the end of the year. So I was just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying, forget it. I know I'm coming back to school anyways. So Yeah, I'm starting to gain a little traction going into my junior year. Starting to get a little more buzz. So I think I was like selected preseason first team and all that stuff in the conference. So yeah, we start off. I'm playing well. We played Villanova, I think one of the first games, and I'm killing them in the first half. I'm cooking them and we should have low key could have won that game. Jaren, you remember that?
Yeah,
We could have won that
definitely
game,
won.
but
Definitely.
yeah, I was cooking them in the first half, and in the second half, it just I didn't do it wasn't the same. But I ended up with 19. But so I had a good showing versus them, and then my coach told me yeah, the NBA scouts were saying you was the best person on the floor and stuff like that, and I'm like, dang, because we got Josh Hart here, all these people, you know
Brunson,
what I'm saying? So it's Brunson, all these people, and my coach talked to, I think it was the Wizards or something. He was like, yeah, the Wizards said you was the best player on the floor. So like I said, just helped boosting my confidence. And then so we played Villanova, had a good showing, had some more games. I'm playing well, and then we played Washington first. Jerry, remember that we should have won that game too. I just couldn't if I would have hit 2 more shots, bro, we probably would have won. I went 5-15, but I had 15 points and 10 assists or something like that. And it was versus Markelle Fultz, who went number 1. So it was it was a lot of scouts there. So I had an okay showing there. And then the very next game we played UCLA, and then I killed them. So then, you know what I'm saying? So now at this point it's starting to I was
that whole West Coast trip, bro. I mean, I knew that you was league, a long time ago, honestly.
Yeah.
But if it was any doubt in any of the scouts' mind, bro, you definitely showed that you not only belong, bro, but you was definitely a pro. You know what I'm saying? You could do some big things, and just seeing that was crazy, bro. Going to Villanova,
I appreciate it.
Washington, and then that whole West Coast trip was crazy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. But yeah, it was fun. And then because not only did I probably prove it to scouts, but I proved it to myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm hearing so much about these players and stuff like that. So I'm ready to go, and I'm all right, I need to show myself, and I feel I did a pretty good job of doing that. So yeah, it was fun. It was super fun, but those kind of helped build my confidence as well. And then I just kind of carried that over into the season, and then I had a pretty good junior year as well.
Man. First team All MAC, right?
Yeah, I was first team All MAC. I think
44% from 3.
Yeah, so then my junior, so like I said, my freshman year I shot 27% from 3. My sophomore year, or my freshman year I shot 27 or 28% from 3. My sophomore year, after I shot all them shots in that summer, I went from 28 to 39% from 3. And then my junior year I shot 44% from 3. Yeah.
That's tough, especially being now you're the guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To shoot 44% from 3, that's tough, man. That's tough.
No, and it's crazy. And we could get into all this, but it's crazy because going into my senior year, I was on the magazines. I was on some magazines for the top returning 3-point shooters and stuff like that. And like I said before, I wasn't no shooter. I'm a slasher, and now I'm on the college magazines for top returning 3-point shooters. So it was just crazy to me.
And I remember just having conversations with Jaren. He had just hit me sometimes and be like, "Bro, Tom is legit. Tom is legit." We played with pros, we played against pros. He
exactly.
He don't even sometimes, especially at the mid-major level, if they have a man, somebody that's the man on the team, they take every shot.
Yeah.
They might not shoot a good percentage, but he's "No, bro, look at his percentages. He don't shoot a lot of shots, he make them. He got a nice average." I'm
Yeah, nah, that's love. That's what everybody be saying. I probably should have been a little more selfish in college. I probably didn't shoot that much. I probably should have shot a little bit more. That's what Jared was always telling me, bro,
man,
you gotta shoot, man. You gotta shoot. But like I said, I was always a distributor first, so it's that's still low key kind of in me. You know what I'm saying? But now it's I just know I can get a bucket whenever I kind of want to, type thing. But yeah.
So, go ahead, Bryce. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, what was it like the first time you saw your name on a mock draft?
Man, bro, when I tell you, bro, surreal, bro, surreal. Cause it's it's like you dream of stuff like that, you know, when you were a kid. And like I said, I didn't think I was gonna be at this position. So it's like when you see that, and honestly, bro, when it all started so now going into my senior year, I get invited to Adidas Nations. That's surreal, you know what I'm saying? Because like I didn't even know. I think I was like a last second pick or something. I think that's what Holland told me. He was like, yeah, I think you was the last second pick. Somebody couldn't come, so they want you to come. So I'm like, bet. So that's surreal, you know what I'm saying? That's just, I never been to an elite camp or nothing like that. And then the fact to like get all tournament team, that was like kind of like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world? Like this really it's kind of happening now, you know what I'm saying? So then a week later, now I'm on the mock draft, and it's not like I'm barely on there. It's like they got me in the mix. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, what's going on? This is crazy. Like, so yeah, it was surreal, bro. Like, it was surreal. I remember, like, I was driving, like, I was on my way to the gym to work out, and my cousin called me, like, bro, you seen the mock drafts? And before this, I never checked the mock draft because I ain't had no reason to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew I wasn't on there. Right. So it's like, I never checked it. So he's like, check, you know, you seen the mock draft? I'm like, nah, I ain't seen it. He's like, bro, they got you going in the middle of the second round. I'm like, what? Like, I stopped the car, like, what? He like, yeah, bro, they got you in the middle of the second round. I'm like, bro, stop playing. He like, go look. So I looked. They had me going like 47 in like Milwaukee or something. So I'm like, dang, that's what's up. That's cold. Wow. And I think I got like all the way up to like 37. And then, but the thing was, like, this is what I'm telling, like, this is what I be telling people. It's just so much that come with all that. Cause like, obviously now it's no secret that like I'm getting NBA interest. So it's like in the school, at a mid-major, it's not too many people that's doing that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you go to like a Kentucky or stuff like that, it's nothing. Like, they know, like, you going there to go to the league. But at these mid, or at least at Western, it's not too many people that's played in the NBA. So it's like, it's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, everywhere you go, it's like, oh, did you see that you're going here now? It's like, and I'm trying not to think about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to block it out. It's like, go to the cafeteria, it's like, oh, Tom, I just seen that you going 37 to the Knicks. Like, that's how I found out. I walked into the locker room, and then I forgot who it was, but some of my teammates were like, yeah, they say you going. Jerry, you probably remember that. Like,
bro, like, I remember. I was gonna say I remember even like looking before going into your senior year, like seeing like talking about it in the locker room, like, dang, bro, this is crazy. Like, you on the mock draft, and then Milwaukee. I remember seeing, Milwaukee, you were going there too, like your senior year mock draft. But also I remember you holding a press conference junior year, going into senior year, and I was thinking like, man, hey, like, go ahead and make that move to the NBA, bro. Like, that's what I was thinking. But
nah, but so it's like, it was hard to block that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I wanted to, I was trying to. That's what everybody was telling me to do, but it was like, it was really hard too, because like every time like I go in the locker room and it's like, Tom, you see you going 37 in the Knicks? It's like, nah, I didn't see that, but I wasn't trying to see that. Like, thanks though, you feel me? Like, you feel me? So it was hard to block that stuff out. So it was a lot that. So that's kind of like what changed the kind of trajectory, I think. But I think it was all like a learning lesson, really, because now I know how to handle. Because like when stuff come up now, or like if it when it happened now, it's gonna be like, oh, I know how to handle this now. Cause already, you know what I'm saying? I already made these mistakes.
Going into your senior year, you had all the buzz, projected to be drafted. How did your senior year turn out?
It wasn't that good, bro. It wasn't that good, honestly, because it was just like, so I was going through something like personally in my family life, and then, like I said, trying to block all this stuff out, and then I wasn't. Hey, it was hard for me to block all this stuff out. So with all that, like, my mind really just wasn't where it's supposed to be, and then like I was thinking I was in the league already. You know what I'm saying? Because like I never went through nothing like this. So I never been projected to do nothing. I was never been ranked or nothing. So it's like I really didn't. And then I also am the only one in my family that's been this far, went this far, or something like, and stuff like that. So it's like I didn't have nobody to really like go to ask like, how should I handle this or how should I do this? Like I'll be talking to my dad. My dad, dude, like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but like, I'm gonna be here with the decision you make. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It was real. Like that's the truth. But it's like it wasn't. You know, I was kind of just going off the seeing what the flow was. You know what I'm saying? Just like whatever happened type of thing. So I really didn't know how to handle like certain situations. So I'm thinking I'm in the league already. Like I'm looking up cars and stuff. Like I'm finna buy. You know what I'm saying? Like just stupid stuff. Like when I look back on it, it's like, dude, like why were you even looking up cars? Like so. Yeah, I just kind of like messed that. I kind of messed it up just by mentally like not knowing what to do or like not handling situations right and stuff like that. So it really wasn't that good. And I think Jaren probably remember like I ended up crying in the locker room one time. Like Jaren, I don't know if you remember that. We was having like a meeting.
I remember for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we was having a meeting and then like I was trying to hold it together, bro. Like the whole season, I'm trying to hold it together. Like just 'cause I'm saying like it's a lot. Like when that stuff happened, it's a lot. Like even family, like your family start moving different. And you know what I'm saying? I see this. Like you could tell, you could see this. And it's like, I didn't like that. Cause I'm like, bro, like I'm still the same me. Like, why you acting like this towards me type thing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm seeing that. So the whole season, I'm trying to hold it together, like not show like no emotion or nothing. And then I'm struggling shooting the ball. Like I went from 44% to shooting 33%. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm having shooting slumps and stuff like that. So I'm trying to hold all that in, like my frustration with that. And then one day in the locker room, Drew, I just basically broke down. Like we was having a meeting and I forgot what came up. And I just basically apologized to the team. Like, man, I'm sorry that like I ain't coming through right now type thing. Like, and we was projected to win that year. Like we was projected to win. So I'm trying to do that for the school and for the, you know what I'm saying? I want to win. And then like, but I also want to get drafted and you know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole bunch. Yeah, it was a lot, but yeah, it's definitely a whirlwind. It's definitely a change in like, it's definitely a change, a real big change. But, and I ain't gonna say it's like super, super crazy because like I'm sure a lot of guys go through that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of guys go through that. But it's just like I'd never been through that before, so it was like I kind of had to just learn.
So for a college athlete, like you said, a lot of athletes might go through that. So for somebody younger that's listening, maybe they're in their junior going to their senior year, they have a lot of buzz, or maybe even a freshman that might go through that in the future. What advice do you have for them as far as just making sure that they take their time and make the most out of that year, don't think ahead?
Yeah, bro, just live in the moment, bro, because like so many times we get caught up in thinking about the future, like what's gonna happen, but like if we don't take care of what's about to happen, we ain't gonna be able to get to, you know what I'm saying, what we trying to get to. So we need to focus on right now, the moment, doing what we need to do to get that, to make that happen, you know what I'm saying? And then if you do that, you're gonna be straight because like you putting all your effort and all your attention into that, you know what I'm saying? So and then if it don't happen or whatever happened after that, you could live with it because it's like I gave it my all. But that's one of my regrets is because I feel like I didn't get my senior year my full attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that'd be eating up at me low key because it's just like I feel like we could have really did some good things and you know what I'm saying, stuff could have been a lot different. But like I said, it's all a learning lesson. It's really no, failures or nothing like that. It's just all learning lessons.
So basically bloom where you plant.
Yeah, bro.
And now that we were transitioning from not talking about everything going on with college and stuff and dealing with all that, what was actually like your favorite college memory?
My favorite college memory in terms of hooping.
You could give both off the court and then on the court as well.
Honestly, bro, off the court it's just like it was just the relationships with the guys, like chilling off the court, like whether it be at the crib playing 2K or whether it be going to a party or whatever with the guys. Cause like for the most part, we was a pretty close knit team. Like we always went out together, did stuff together. So like that was probably my favorite memory off the court. And on the court, I would say probably I don't know, bro. Maybe playing UCLA. Like maybe playing UCLA. Yeah, because it was just like you see them on TV and stuff like that, and it's like finally getting to play them, and then like playing well, it was cool. And then I scored my 1,000th point like that game too. I think.
Was Lonzo Ball on the team at that time? Who did they have?
Yeah, Lonzo Ball was on the team.
So a lottery pick.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. So we played the number 1 and number 2 pick in like the matter of a few days. So it was cool, bro. It was cool. I'll say, probably that trip, that whole West Coast trip.
Off the court, man. I think we bonded more than ever too off the court when we went to the beach as well. That was a fun time.
When we went to the beach, what was that, Joe? That's right when you got here?
Freshman year, yeah. And we out. Yeah. Dang, I forgot about our overseas trip too. Sometimes I forget about that. Yeah.
Overseas trip too. Yeah. That was lit.
That was a great experience.
Probably them two. Probably the West Coast trip and then our overseas trip.
And then on the court, I mean, Central too, man. I mean, that was a rival, and you always bought it.
Memory from them, but hey, if y'all ain't seen Marcus King hit that shot, go watch that. Hey, he's a bucket too. I'm not gonna lie. I give credit when it's due. That dude's a bucket. But yeah, he sprayed me for the game. That was crazy. he did that.
Was that at Western or Central?
It was at Central, bro, and that's what I'm saying. The gym got as loud as it's not that big, but they was screaming so loud, like, because we was up by like I think a dub or something in the first half, so they had to come back, and then he's starting to go off. Then you know what I'm saying? They chant MVP while he dribbling, bro. Like he in the league or something, bro. Man, that was crazy. He hit that too. He hit that.
Yeah, so after your senior year, you went and played overseas for a while. Could you talk a bit about that?
Yeah. So after my senior year, I had some NBA workouts. Played summer league with the Utah Jazz. I ain't play that well, and then so I was like, I'm gonna go overseas. I ended up going overseas to Germany, in Ludwigsburg, in the BBL, so the top league in Germany, and it was cool. It was a great experience, but kind of like what I was saying before, I wasn't living in the moment. Like, I'm steady, like, man, I don't really know. Like, I'm supposed to be in the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going through my head. Like, even my homie Keelan, like, every day, it wasn't a day that went by that we didn't talk about, like, playing in the league or, like, getting back to the league. And he probably did a better job of just sticking it out and trying to live in the moment, take advantage of his opportunity than I did. Like, I was more so like, man, forget this. I'm going back to the crib. Like, I'm too far away. So, after like 2 months or whatever, I was like, I left, talked to the coaches and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a mutual thing. And then it was like games where I wasn't playing, but that's like normal overseas. And that's something I want like guys to know too. Like, that's okay. If you go overseas and it's games where like your coach messing with you, I guess, and like not playing you, like everybody kind of go through that, you know what I'm saying? So don't take it personal. Like, I've seen a lot of situations, like even my homie Keelan, like, and now he play on the Timberwolves. He on a two-way with the Timberwolves, but he went through the same thing I was going through. Like, it was like 6 games in a row where he didn't play. Like, you know what I'm saying? The coach just wasn't playing him. And he was trying to leave. Like, he was actually trying to leave, but he ended up staying, and it ended up like working out for him. So that's something I want guys to know too. Like, when you go over there, if you decide to take that route and go overseas, like, you gonna have adversity, but don't just try to up and leave or run away from the situation. Like, it could play out well if you just stick it out.
I'm happy that you just talked a bit about that, because I've seen a lot of guys go overseas and come back, pretty quick. So I think it's good that you just gave them a little insight on what it's like to be over there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a situation where you have to adjust, an adjustment. But like I said, they pay good money. So I don't know what the market gonna be like now, but they usually pay good money, and it's a way to provide for your family. So
right. Can you hit on some of the pros and cons, but just like hit on them again, just for some of the people that really don't know nothing about overseas, or the athletes that don't know anything about overseas?
Yeah, I would say it's you could go to some bad situations, like, you know what I'm saying? It's some bad situations out there, but I can only speak from my experience. And my experience, like, it was amazing. You know, everybody out there, it was love. It was they support you. They gave us a car, so we was driving Range Rovers. We were sponsored by Range Rover, so
That's crazy.
like brand new, bro, like 0 miles on it, like 0 miles on it, and it was like, so we had the range, we had a nice apartment. The games be packed. You know what I'm saying? It's like you celebrities. Like I remember it was I had a preseason game. It was like right before we started our regular games, but it was like they allowed the fans to come to these games. So I had a good game. I had like 20 or something, and we ended up winning. And then so I'm walking back into my apartment, and like my neighbor's like hanging off the balcony, like, good game, like good game, he was killing, like, so it was cool, bro. It's like love out there.
That's
There's
dope.
love out there. But I wasn't even focused on that, you know, trying to find the beauty in it. I was just like, man, I'm trying to get back home. Like, yeah. So no, it's super dope out there if you get in the right situation, for sure.
And also just like one thing that I'm starting to, I guess, see the importance in is like just experiencing new things. Like that's you're on the other side of the world, a whole new
Exactly,
culture.
bro. Exactly, bro. And that's what I'm starting to understand now, kind of like you said, like, bro, at the end of the day, some people never travel the country at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you over here going to multiple different countries playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to look at it at that aspect, like, because a lot of guys, like, if you're not in the league, you weak or nah. Like, it's some guys over there that's like better than some of these dudes in the league, but they might not just be right for that system or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like dudes over there be cahoot. Like it ain't no like I'm sure y'all know hoopers that play overseas. Like it's dudes over there at cahoot. So it's like the competition is good, and then like at the end of the day, you experiencing new things. You get to be in a whole new country, experience that their culture. You know what I'm saying? You just get more culture. You get more experience. You get more. You gain wisdom. You gain knowledge just from different experiences, being able to do those things.
So what was the transition like back to the US and into the G League?
So it was different. It was different because so overseas they're more so trying to win. You know, it's like we're trying to win these games. Like they don't care so much about development whereas in the NBA it's more about the development, and they don't care as much about the wins. Like they want to win, but they're more worried about developing the player, you know, the individual. So it was different. It was cool though. Like I like the G League just because like I said, you get to work on your game. You know what I'm saying? So and the talent in the G League is crazy. Like basically anybody, if you're not a number 1, number 2 pick or something, top 5, like you probably gonna touch the G League. So like you get to play against these dudes all the time, like this competition all the time. So it's it's super dope.
So how did your first season go? First, let's start there.
It was all right. Like I played okay. Like I'm still struggling shooting at this point. Like up until this, I'm still struggling shooting. So I wasn't shooting the ball well, but I was playing okay. And then we got a guy named Walt Lemon. He from Chicago. He came to our team, and he's a dog. So I got to learn from him. And like we would be in practice, like going at it. So that was like super good for me because like, and he had league experience. So it was like that kind of helped with my confidence as well. Because I'm you know, at times going at him in practice, and he played in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool, super dope learning from him because like I said, he a dog. So yeah, my rookie year was all right in the G League. It was okay.
I watched your YouTube video, the intro to your channel. I'm gonna put the link to that in the description below. Everybody should go check that out. But you talked about the summer going into your second season and how you weren't even sure that you wanted to play. And I know that a lot of us hoopers
y'all got homework, bro. I like it.
Yeah, but a lot of us hoopers we go through those points sometimes. I don't think, you know, people understand outside of sports is how much it weighs on you mentally. Like,
nah, bro, they don't.
What factors went into you feeling that way? If you can get into that, and then how did you like get through that?
Yeah, bro, we get into it. So it's like, like I said, so my senior year, all that stuff was like weighing on me. So like, at this point, my senior year was probably, I could definitely say I was depressed. Like my whole senior year of basketball, like I was depressed, and then it just kind of carried over. It was just lingering over, even in my rookie year. Like when I was over, that's why I feel like I couldn't enjoy being over there, because I was depressed. Like I didn't want to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I'm depressed there, and then I'm still depressed going into my rookie year in the G League. So then after the season, like, I'm just like, bro, I don't know if I want to do this, you know, like this at this point, it's like 2 years now. And I'm thinking it, and I know now it's like when I played basketball, and I remember I went to I was working out one time, and I told my trainer, like, man, this is the worst part of my day. Like coming to the gym at this point, like last summer, it was like, bro, coming into the gym is the worst part of my day. Like I be having such a good day. And then it's like when I get here, it's like a reminder of like, I'm not where I want to be or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just, at that point, I was just like, man, I don't know if I really want to hoop. But then my mom and, you know, my family just did a great job of like keeping me even keeled and keeping my head on my shoulders and making me understand like whatever you're trying to do is going to be there at the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like not everybody, you're not going to always be young enough to hoop. So it's like, just try to enjoy it. That's why I'm kind of more at peace with like whatever happens, or if I make it to the league, like obviously that's the goal, and I know I could get there, and I know I could play at that level. But it's like if it don't happen, I'm gonna just enjoy, you know, whatever happens. So I'm just trying to play at the highest level I can play, because in 10 years I'm not gonna be able to probably, you know what I'm saying? So. So I just had to understand that, but it was rough though. Like I really wasn't working out like that, like consistently. Like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like days I wouldn't work out. I wouldn't be trying to do, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to avoid the gym. Like, and I'm gonna tell y'all this story. So that summer, I'm not working out. Like I said, I'm thinking I want to be done with hooping, and I go out to LA for this real estate convention. Like, that the G League does for its players, like a crossover thing even. So I went to this real estate thing, and then once it's over, I was out there chilling with my homie. And one of my teammates from Germany is really good friends with Floyd Mayweather. And they was playing, they was having some games. It was in LA, and he was like, they needed an extra one. So he's like, bro, you in LA, like, like, come hoop with us. I'm like, all right, then. So I'm excited because it's just like, you know what I'm saying, I'm hooping with Floyd.
Yeah.
But like in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, I ain't touched, like, you know what I'm saying, I ain't touched no basketball. Like, so it's like, you know, it's like, dang. So I get out there, bro. And I play terrible. Like I played terrible in front of Floyd. And yeah, it just wasn't good, bro. And that kind of made it worse. Like that kind of like made me even more like, bro, man, forget this, bro. I'm not doing this no more, bro. It's just, you know what I'm saying? But it was, like I said, it was all just a learning lesson, and I was able to, now I know how to kind of deal with things and stuff like that. But it was rough, bro. That last summer was rough, bro.
Man, and I mean, I can definitely relate to feeling depressed because of basketball and just balancing everything in your life. I don't even think I even told anybody this, but I went to like this form of therapy, like sports therapy, my junior year, most of my junior year, and then I went for like maybe 2 sessions this past season. But I mean, I would just like advise like anybody going through that to reach out to those resources. It's not. I think that a lot of people look at it as like being weak or, you know,
nah, bro.
crazy.
If I would have known about that, like in college, I was looking probably for like any sense of like comfort, you know what I'm saying? So if I could have found, if I would have probably knew something about that, like I'm sure Western has that. I probably just wasn't trying to, or I probably just didn't know about it or whatever. But like if I knew about it, like I definitely would have did something like that, just because like I was such in a point where I was just like trying to find anything to like find some comfort, just to like make me feel better type thing. Like I remember we played Buffalo, and it was on TV. It was like ESPN game, and ESPN never come to Western. You know what I'm saying? Like Jaron, you probably remember this. And I wasn't playing that good, but I know like they here for me. You know what I'm saying? I know ESPN basically here for me, and Buffalo is good too. So it's like, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're not coming to Western for no reason. So it's like, and then I didn't play that well. So like at this point, it's like in the middle of the season. So at this point, I'm just like, bro, like man, like, I was like at one of my lowest points. And then so the next day, my dad called me, and I just like picked up. And then we ain't say no words, bro. Like we ain't say no words. I just picked up, and then I just started crying, like. And then he just started crying, and my cousin Alan was like right there. He just started crying because like they probably knew like he probably got a lot on him, like on his mind and stuff. And so like yeah, bro, he just called me. We ain't say no words. That whole conversation, like we all was just in there crying, all three of us, like yeah, bro. So it's real. Like you should definitely, like you said, for athletes, like you need to talk to somebody, go do that because it's a real thing for sure.
A lot.
I'm glad that we hit on that too, because I also was struggling with a lot of off the court stuff as well. But it's just like for all you athletes out there, like you're not gonna be able to perform how you want to if your mental is not straight, and that's so important. And it's it's not talked about enough, even with coaches. Like you need that extra help in order for you to be what you need to be on the court. So I'm glad that you hit that Tom, because that's important for a lot of athletes out there being vulnerable.
Yeah. And then the reason for that probably is because a lot of coaches don't care for real, bro. Like at the end of the day, like a lot of coaches don't care. So it's like you gotta look for resources yourself. You can't wait for a coach to be like, oh, do you need help, or if you feel like this will help you, like try to reach out and try to be diligent in finding that, because a lot of coaches don't care. Like some might care, some you might get some that do, but at the end of the day, it's a business. So
for the most part, yep.
You just hit it right there. At the end of the day, it's a business. That's how a lot of coaches look at it.
Yep. And transitioning to now, you started a YouTube channel. Congratulations again.
Appreciate it.
What's your goal, with your YouTube channel, and what do you plan on?
Honestly, bro, like, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I was gonna do it, so like, just for some fun stuff. Because I'm always watching highlights, so I was gonna be reacting to other people's highlights. But I want to kind of make it more personal to like my situation and to kind of take people along my journey. So it's like I want to help people really at the end of the day. Like that's what I want out of my channel. It's like kind of like what we doing now. Like if I could give any type of advice to anybody or tell if somebody can learn from my experiences, then that would mean the world to me. Or like if I was in college and I seen somebody hooping at a high level that had a vlog that vlogged with their situation or how they living overseas, or how is it in the G League, like I would enjoy watching that. So I want to do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of guys doing it. I'm starting to see more and more people do it now. But yeah, that's really like all I want.
Using your platform,
yeah, just using my platform, bro, like to try to help.
So what's you preparing for your second season, right?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be my third season as a pro. So my second season was just this past year, and it went all right. Like it was. I played back with the Windy City Bulls, and I got hurt like right before the first game, so I missed like a month or so of the beginning of the season, and then I was just kind of playing. When I came back, my ankle was still nagging, and so I was just kind of playing through injury there, and then I ended up hurting my groin like after that. So I was basically like hurt the whole year, like playing injured and stuff like that. So it was like okay, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do. But that's why I'm just trying to get back right now. So like I can, I think next year is gonna be the year I start coming back into my own and feeling like myself again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that too, man.
Yeah.
And
it's about to go up for sure.
I think you can give advice to athletes too about being injured and still being resilient and still working, but taking the time that they need to not rush back or whatever.
Yeah, for sure,
if you got
bro.
any advice on that too?
Yeah, it's gonna be draining mentally, just because it's like you feel like you've had a setback, and it is a setback, but like you can also learn with like in the process of getting back better, and then in the long run end up being better than you were when you got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whether that be your injured area getting stronger, or like you learning something mentally, or being able to watch the game and like learning the nuances of the game, you know what I'm saying, that you couldn't do before because you was just so sped up and trying to work out and do, you know, everyday stuff. So yeah, it's just about being resilient and perseverance, really, just because like, yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough, but you just gotta have that want to, for real. Like,
yeah. And I mean, I hurt myself too, so I mean, it is definitely draining. You know, I had surgery as well, and I think the thing that I'm learning is, you know, like you said, being resilient, and then also focusing on areas that, you know, I might have not been strong in, you know, whether that's focusing on my ball handling or maybe even strengthening my legs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, it might be something that, like you said, you turn your weaknesses into your strengths. So.
For sure. And then, like, this whole situation allowed me to slow down, too, just, like, and, like, my heart goes out to like everyone that lost or that's been affected by the coronavirus and, you know, and all that. But for me personally, like, it's just allowed me to slow down. You know what I'm saying? Because like nobody's doing nothing. So I've had time to like figure out what I want to do, or outside of basketball, or what spikes my interest outside of basketball, and trying to find different ways to just improve myself, you know, individually, like off the court. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the biggest thing, like, it's just being the best person, you know? Right. I feel like that's what this has allowed me to do, and being injured on top of the coronavirus situation has allowed me to do so.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's one thing that we've been talking about pretty often. Just like you said, working on ourselves, make sure that we're the best person we can be. And like you said, this time at home allowed us to sit back and think about how we can do that.
Yeah, like y'all came up with a whole podcast, like I said, in the legit podcast, doing it the right way. Like, and who's to say like this could have happened if
exactly
y'all didn't have this time to sit down?
Probably wouldn't have.
Exactly. So,
who is one college athlete that you would like to hear on the podcast? It doesn't even have to be basketball; it could be any sport, either like current, former. Who would you want to see on the show?
I think if y'all could get K-Nunn would be a good one, because if you talk about perseverance, like, and that's crazy too, because me and K-Nunn we ain't never had no interaction before. Like, we played in my senior year, and we didn't. We talked a little bit, but it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know each other. We just knew of each other. But then we went to this camp called Portsmouth after our senior year for like the top seniors, and then we met there and we was chopping it up, and that's kind of where we got cool. And then so in the summer, I think I linked with him, and we was just chopping it up, and he like, bro, I'm getting to the league. Like, I got to get to the league, you feel me? So it's just like, it's cool seeing him, you know what I'm saying? It's cool seeing him doing what he doing, and everybody like, oh, okay, But I'm like, bro, he said he was doing that. He told me he was going to do that. So it's just like, but it's super dope seeing that. Like, I'm super happy for him. So like, if y'all could get K-Nunn, on here, like, that'll be dope.
Another Chicago guy, by the way.
Yeah.
And he didn't just make it to the league. Like, he's one of the
That's
top.
What I'm saying. If you want to talk about perseverance, like, and he in there doing his thing. Like, he didn't just make the league. He in there doing his thing. Like, so
got a contract. Shout
out to K-Nunn. Shout out to K-Nunn for sure.
Shout out.
Yeah.
What's one career within the sports industry that you would like to learn more about?
Maybe like sports marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just like learning a little bit more about that. Yeah, like the behind the scenes, what goes into, all that.
Gotcha. So like, I asked that because I think that one thing I want to do with this, especially for like people that's playing, you know, in the G League or in the NBA, get them on. I know that y'all, you know, want to find a way to pivot into, you know, like a career afterwards. So I'm gonna try to like find resources to send to y'all and try to help y'all with whatever you
For
interested.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That'll be dope, bro. That'll be dope.
Last question. If you can go back and speak to yourself at 16 years old, what advice would you give?
Just live in the moment. Like, that would be my biggest thing. Living in the moment, enjoy the moment. Like, and that goes for basketball, but that's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, even so, I have a son now, and it's like I can't wait for him to get up and be able to start walking, and so I can have a little more interaction with him. But it's like, nah, like, enjoy this, because I'm not gonna get this time back where he goo goo gaga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that, just enjoy the moment, live in the moment, and yeah, try to give each situation, each task your full attention, and then see what happens from there.
Love it. Did you have something else, Jen?
No, I was gonna say, thanks for coming on the show, Tom. You're a close friend of mine. I know you're a friend of Bryce as well. But I just want to say that you're a great basketball player, but most importantly, a great person, man. And
appreciate it.
I'm thankful to have you as a friend. So thank you for joining the show and everything.
No, I appreciate y'all having me, bro. Like I said, I'm super honored to be on here. I respect y'all tremendously just for even doing this and using y'all platform to help people. So I commend y'all for that. And like I said, man, y'all like doing y'all thing. Y'all doing it the right way. Like, this is dope.
I appreciate that. And I'm happy that we got to kick it off with you. You have a great story. And also, like Jen said, you're a really good person, like even off the court. But
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, but before we let you go, one thing that we try to do each episode is I think we're gonna call it the food for thought.
Yeah, I seen that. The little quote of the day.
Yeah, quote of the day or affirmation. So Jaren did the first episode, so I got it for the second episode. This one I was trying to find one that matches your story, but so many do. But I think that one thing we keep talking about throughout this entire episode is like resilience and being able to bounce back. So one thing I tell myself every morning is a quote. I don't remember what book I got it from, but it says, "Yes, this happened. Now what? It's all in my response." So basically, you can't control what happens to you. You might get injured. You might, not get as much playing time as you think that you deserve.
Right.
But that doesn't really matter. What matters is how you respond to that.
Exactly, bro. That's super big. Like we said, living in the moment. Like, that's in the past. Whatever happened in the past, you're not getting playing time. You get hurt, but it's like about what you gonna do to better that situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it happened. It is what it is. That's what I had to learn. Like, it happened. It is what it is. Like, let's get it now. Like, let's do it. Let's turn up.
And I think also too, Tom, last thing that I'm learning too is, it's not going to rain forever. Like, as long as you stay consistent, man, and just keep believing in yourself, kind of, we talked about it, but having that tunnel vision, man, and not letting no outside distractions, deter you from where you're trying to go. I think that's just big, man. Just having that tunnel vision and knowing that, all right, like, embrace the challenges, because it must be something on the other end that's, going to be great. So,
and honestly, bro,
living proof with you.
It's learning. Like, you're learning. Like, and that's what I'm starting to get super excited for. Like, each day, like, I'm learning something new. Like, that's why I enjoy reading so much, is because it's like, I want to learn. I'm thirsty for knowledge right now. So it's like, bro, nothing is a failure. Like, you ain't failed. It's just a lesson, bro. Like, you just one step closer to doing what you wanted to do, or you know what I'm saying, accomplishing your goal. So.
And I think that once people realize that, that's when they, like you said, you're excited about this, because like, whatever you're going through is a lesson. It's just going to propel you towards wherever you're supposed to go.
For sure.
And I know Jen and I have a lot of conversations about that, especially when we're going through something. It's like, I already know, like, I hate it now, but I need this so I can be.
Exactly.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why this stuff crazy to me, and that's why I get so excited, because it's like, bro, I needed to go through whatever I've been through in life. Like, you have to go. Like, you needed to. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be who you are, and you wouldn't be able to get to who you becoming. So it's like, thank you for that. Thank you for the lessons. You know what I'm saying?
It's a part of the story. Man. It's all a part of the story.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Definitely. Well, man, thank you again for joining. I think this is a great second episode, first episode with a guest. Man, I can't stress it enough. I appreciate it, bro. Happy Father's Day again.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, enjoy the time with your fam.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, before you go, where can people reach you at? What's your socials?
So my Instagram is Wilder's World. Yeah, that's really what I'm on the most is Instagram. My YouTube channel is Wilder's World as well.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so yeah, that's really it. That's really where I be at mostly. So
Gotcha. And I'll put those in the description below when we upload.
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate y'all again, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to give Tom a follow on Instagram, subscribe to his account, check out his content and what he has coming up next with his YouTube channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to us and hit that notification bell so that you're always updated when we post.